Wow, that's a good way to start. Hess shit his pants.
Just make it clap.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Random Ramblings. I'm Jerome.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Hess.
And today we're talking about Westworld Season 3. It's finally back, baby.
I'm glad we're talking about something that's actually on the air.
Yeah, no, I'm glad, even though there's nothing really to speculate on from this episode,
Right.
like
Okay.
Westworld-wise, you know?
Yeah.
So let's get into what did we all think of the episode. Starting with Nick, then Hess, then I'll go.
Okay. I loved it.
I liked it.
I thought you were getting a little more than that and set it up. I loved it.
Well, that's what I was waiting on.
Well,
I was waiting for him to elaborate.
I was gonna say more, but then you looked
Okay.
at him, so then.
Oh, because it just looked like you were done talking.
I wasn't.
I got you.
I was pausing for.
You do like to pause a lot.
Do I?
Yeah, for dramatic effect.
Yeah. No, I felt like a different show.
It did. It's weird because it felt like the same show, but then it also felt very different.
It felt very different. I mean,
It was big time different.
you go to a future world, no pun intended. Well,
Oh, do you think they did it on purpose?
Maybe a little bit.
It
From a
didn't
Western.
really feel like they were in China though.
They were in L.A.
They filmed it in
Yeah, but they were supposed to be in L.A.
Yeah,
and they were
LA
in
and London, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh, was
watched.
it London? I thought it was China.
They
Nope.
went to London.
It says
and,
on the screen in the corner from the
Yeah.
Solomon thing.
And then
Oh,
in
the
London,
Hebrew
the
one.
guy's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go to L.A. You wanna come with me? Whatever the fuck
Yeah.
your name is, not Dolores.
Jesus,
Lara.
Laura.
I didn't write down her name because it doesn't matter.
Lara.
But I also love the episode. I'm so happy he's back. I love Aaron Paul. Everything about it was great. I don't think there's a negative thing to say about this episode.
The crazy thing is that I'm glad you told me there was an end scene.
I knew you wouldn't watch it if I didn't tell you.
Well, yeah, because I mean, fuck, the episode's over. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
Who watches next on?
Yeah.
So
I do a
put it-
podcast
no,
on it.
so-
Who watches the rest?
Wow. When they start rolling credits, usually that's it. For fuck's sake, you know what I mean?
Not when you're doing a podcast and they show you what's done next, and we speculate about that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Well,
see, I know him,
anyways,
and I know he doesn't watch Next On, so I was
I
like,
know.
I gotta text him.
I didn't watch Next On.
What the fuck?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, I swear to God,
it didn't
you've said
even
that
occur to
20
me.
times now.
Yeah, every
21.
every episode of Westworld, he said that.
21 times.
Yeah,
I will make sure I start watching it. That's
21 times for
But-
that also.
yeah.
But no. But anyway,
He's like, no, only 20.
I completely forgot about Maeve. Like I saw it, I'm like, oh fuck, we didn't even see her the whole fucking episode.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh, I guess we're just gonna get her in episode 2. That's kind of surprising. Like no Maeve, no Man in Black, all that. I was like, I guess they're waiting for that, and then poof, wakes up. In
Well, I mean, there was a
World.
lot going on. They have a whole new character, so
A whole new character.
I kind of feel like Aaron Paul is the new Dolores from season 1.
Yeah, I didn't see him drop any paint cans or anything.
I
No,
think
he was just playing. He was just playing GTA the whole time.
I think his paint cans is him waking up and going to the same job. And then
I mean,
Jesus
I don't think he's
Christ.
Dolores with that, but I see what you're saying because like they,
mean,
they just showed that humans are in a loop too.
yeah, and I think it's. I mean, it's just I found a lot of similarities. I don't think they're the exact same person.
Well, no, yeah,
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. I never thought of that in the episode. I was like, oh yeah, humans have a loop too. I get it because he kept
So
waking
there's
up a lot.
multiple. Are there multiple Caleb's?
Oh my god,
No.
no.
Oh
No?
wait, we have
We have a rule.
Here we go.
This is for the whole season 3. You cannot say he's a host unless you have some kind of fact to back it up.
Oh, okay.
You can't just I just get this feeling. You got to be like, oh yeah, I fucking saw his robot part hang out of his ass.
Okay, so on that,
Here we go.
when he's like delivers the car to where Laura is getting dropped off.
That's gonna be a thing, isn't it? I can't wait till she's called Dolores and just done with this again.
It's Dolores.
Well, no, because
Yeah.
she's gonna still be with the guy. She's a host. She's gonna make peas with.
She's not with that guy
what?
anymore.
That's why she has the
Nah.
host. She said, "You're gonna fix it." And he's like, "What?" And then she's like, "Well, you're gonna fix it." And the host walked out, so she's gonna fix that relationship. I'm pretty sure. That's the whole point of having that other guy.
Yeah, but he's useless anyway.
Yeah, but he's duped.
But he knows the fucking name though, so he's still kind of useful. He's about to tell her. Anyways, what's your
Yeah,
theory?
but
Hess?
she already knows the name.
It's not a theory. It's just more of like a question. So like when he delivers that car, and then the guy's like, "Hey," or Caleb's like, "What the fuck is this? Like, I don't do personals."
Yeah.
The guy's like, "You got the wrong idea. Beat it." And then like he stands there and then he puts a gun in his face, and he's like, "I've had people put a gun to my face before." And then he's like, "Yeah, well, you've never had somebody pull the trigger and shoot you in the face or something." And he's like, Are you so sure about that or something like that?
He said someone beat you to that too.
Yeah.
He said because
Yeah.
I'll be the first to shoot you in the head, and he's like, no, someone
So
beat
that
you to that
means
too.
he got shot in the head?
Yeah.
Yeah,
probably. Sounds like it.
I'm assuming. Yeah, his Kid Cudi died, and he got shot. Even though we saw him over Kid Cudi's body, there's more to that for sure. So yeah, he got shot.
So he just survived it?
I guess it's like
it seems like it was pretty traumatic. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why Kid Cudi's
Right.
calling him from the grave.
So
it's
yes,
like
I was gonna-
Sicario.
And that
Yeah.
was like my other question too. Well, like kind of question / talking point. So it's like his best friend, like from the grave, just like he gets to talk to.
It seems to me. Are we
It's
gonna
like-
get
it's
into this, or do you want to like?
No, I have the whole episode, but we can chat through it.
So it seems to me that if it's insight, maybe, or if it's just the government itself, but they're watching them kind of like how.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Delos was watching.
chooses their jobs and all that. But then it does seem like
no, but I mean just like the whatever he's in, the fucking army, whatever he was in,
Oh yeah,
and that's why. So they know all the things. That's why he's like, "Hey, can you talk today? Yeah, you know what we talked about?" Because they monitored everything they did.
Right.
Although it seems like all this shit's relatively new, because at one point Aaron Paul says, "You know, you never had to live in this."
yeah,
And he gets pissed off when he said,
They mentioned because we listened to is it Recapables? They have so many.
Yeah.
And they mentioned that like the war he's in, maybe that is why how the world is today. That could be a possibility.
I also noticed something. I don't know if this is anything at all, but you know, they're not in war. They're not in like a uniform when they kill.
I noticed
when they
that
get
too.
killed.
I was like, he is playing like Call of Duty Warzone. He was in like just kind of generic-ish clothes.
But there's a flashback when they're in a uniform too.
Yeah. There's multiple.
So maybe he didn't die in a war. Maybe he died doing something extra. I don't know.
Well, because they did say when he was bringing, it's either the syringe to Dolores or that stuff. Kid Cudi goes, "Oh, that's like what we used to do," and then Aaron Paul goes, "Well, we didn't have to worry about the sheriffs then."
Yeah.
So it could have been a mission like that.
That was his first mission, because that's when he gets on the train.
Oh, okay. But he does say that, so you're probably right that it was during one of those missions he got shot.
Yeah, like he was doing some extra. So, also, here's where I thought you were going with Aaron Paul's a host. I don't think Aaron Paul's a host.
I don't either, and I have a specific note that I wrote down for Hess when he's in that little club area.
But if we find out later he's a host, here's the first hint when his mom says, "You're not my son."
Oh, yeah, and like he's died, and then this person's back, and he thinks he's Caleb, but he's not.
Yeah, that would be it.
Right when I heard that, I was like,
You
oh,
motherfucker.
fuck. Hess has been saying he's a host before the show started, and the mom's saying that.
Yeah, I think they want you to think he is.
Yeah, there's another scene, though.
I actually don't, because they talk about humans a lot in the,
in the behind the scenes and all that.
Well,
Like,
and I thought it was weird when he was on the phone with when he didn't get the job. He's like, "No offense, but like, are you a human?" And he's like, "I'm Sean, and I can help you with whatever you need."
Yeah.
And he's just like, "Jesus fucking Christ."
Which, did that remind you of The Good Place?
A little bit, yeah.
Um,
I wanted him to go, Janet, and she goes, boop.
but also, so then he's doing these side jobs that you call GTA. What's the? It's
That's
a
what
Rico.
It's Rico.
Rico.
It reminded me of you every time screaming that because of Mima's dog.
Yeah. He's doing the Rico app to keep his mom in that facility.
But did it
I
not
noticed that
remind you
this
of, like,
time.
GTA missions.
It does. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
a
just
little
pull it up like, boop, boop. Oh, let's go do this real quick.
Except it's
And it
real.
was like when
Yeah.
he goes to the club, and he's like, "It's a cleanup job." He's like, "Fuck yeah!" Like it gives you
It,
the option. Fuck
it actually,
yeah.
have you guys seen the movie Nerve?
No.
It reminds me of that, except that it's like dares and you get money. It's like an app and they
Oh, I
go
remember
on
that.
it and they're like, oh, go do this, like hang up the Empire State Building for 10 seconds and you get money, and then people follow you and all that.
Yeah, I remember.
It reminds me of that.
But so when he talks to his mom says that you're not my son. She
Yeah,
takes,
and then they give her one of those church crackers.
yeah, gives her a drug wafer.
Mhm.
And then I wrote it down. He says because as they're doing that, he's talking to
He goes back to her and he's like, "You're not my mom."
he's talking to Francis, which every time they said his name, I
Thought of Deadpool.
yes.
Me too. Every time.
He needs to pay for his mom. He doesn't want her here. The nurse says maybe you should put her in a state-run facility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought so that's interesting. So he seems like a good guy. Whatever he's doing.
While you have your phone out, you said you wrote down some other stuff that you noticed. What's that? And then I'll get into the episode like we normally do.
Okay. I did the Francis doesn't die in a war. Oh, and just the first scene when Dolores fucks that dude up in the pool and all that other stuff, and takes all his money and stuff. We think that's like before the rest of the show.
Yeah. I think it's either because she's wearing the same dress at one point when she's talking to Bernard in the previous yawn. So that's either right before that happened or right after.
She says
because when she leaves Bernard, she does say I have work to do. So she could be going to do that.
She says she's the only one of her kind. She says she needs the money for a startup. There's a few hints. She says she's only been there for a little bit, like stuff like that. So I think it's just like I think that's the first thing, and then you play all the music. Bam, and then it's like a couple months later. That's the way I took it. The only other thing I wrote down is, you know when the dingleberry that she's...
her boyfriend?
Yeah.
Liam Dempsey Jr.?
Yeah, him. Dingleberry Jr.?
Liam Dempsey.
When he's talking to Mantis?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Mantis is the guy from Aquaman, right?
Yeah, Black Man. Yeah, you're getting all your stuff. You're going to confuse yourself more. Just say he's talking to the fucking board member.
Is he the older guy? He's got...
No, he's talking to the chick.
It's Dolores' boyfriend when he's talking to that girl.
When he's talking to the chick?
When they're threatening to kill him.
Yeah. So, he kind of threatens her back with, would you hear about what happened at Delos? And she's like,
why? He threatens her first by saying that. And then she's like, oh, it'd be such a shame to kill you with that.
Oh, did he say it first?
Yeah.
So she's like, why would we care about Delos? Do you think it's possible maybe Insight is either A, doing exactly what they were doing? Because it feels like...
Or like they're like it's like Walmart and Target against each other?
Kinda.
Or like...
But like, so they got that big ball that's... it's the algorithm makes everybody do everything, but they're watching everybody just like...
The Hemobon or whatever it's called?
What is it called? I have it written down here.
The Rimabomb.
The Rohabomb.
Hemobon.
I was close.
Yeah. Couple letters off.
He so either
shut your fucking face.
Either that is
Abby turned around.
I think that's like the cradle or like
yeah.
Or like
well, I don't think it's like the cradle because I think it is just a really smart system that is
watching everybody.
So I don't think it has humans inside it.
What's IBM's
that's what the cradle had hosts. The Forge had the humans. I don't think it's one of those. I think it is just a really smart AI.
I think it's watching everybody and
like
keeping notes.
No, yeah, obviously. I think that it is doing that, but I don't think it's like the cradle because the cradle was just what was holding the hosts.
Okay, yeah, then it's not the cradle. It's like the other one. Because I think it's.
You think there's humans inside it?
I don't know if there's humans inside of it, but I think it's retaining somehow. Like it's like somewhere there's a big hard drive. I think in it.
Oh, okay. Thinking about it that way, okay, yeah, I can. Because I was just thinking about it having their balls, but yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how. Because she had those. We'll get into here. So we're talking about Westworld season 3, episode 1, Parce Domine. I don't know how to say it. But Jerry's talking to his broker, his stockbroker, and he wants to get out of Westworld stock and all that shit. And then he goes to bed and is rudely interrupted by Dolores because she hacks his house and she's swimming in his pool.
That is funny. She took a dip.
But so when he's doing that, she puts those glasses on him. Do you think maybe because people were questioning that how did it have memories of outside the world? Mm-hmm. Maybe those glasses were connected to Insight.
I think so because that was also that girl, Mantis. Mm-hmm. I don't know her real name.
I don't know her name in the show either. It didn't pop up and I didn't look it up.
Yeah, whatever her name.
She's an Insight board member.
The Asian.
Yeah. She said that somebody.
Yeah, I
got into the system.
Yeah, someone's testing it,
and so she thinks it's. I mean, maybe that's how she tested it by getting some stuff out of it.
Could be, yeah. Which it's a little late if what happened then is before the previously on, then that's 92 days later that they're asking about this. Then,
yeah, maybe it takes a while to catch up though.
It's the smartest thing in the world. Can't even figure out Dolores did 92 days ago.
I think Dolores is the smartest thing. No, I'm just kidding.
But I love that scene of her going. She just like it's like a horror movie. Him going through the house, memories of him beating his wife and shit, being mean to her.
Yeah, she's kind of like a Terminator that you root for.
Yeah, and then she has him transfer over all the info he has on Insight because he was supposed to erase it and he kept it just in case. And then he trips over a hologram of Dolores and cracks his head open in the pool.
Yeah,
I don't know how he didn't see that coming. He walked from one edge of his house to the other, and all of a sudden she's sitting in a chair there already. So it's like, okay, one of her is a hologram, and he runs after her.
Well, he was literally talking to a hologram at the beginning of the scene.
Yeah, so how did he not think, oh, that's probably a hologram Dolores?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess if he would have just not went after her with a fucking golf club, he would be alive.
Yeah, and did he also think that a host that escaped Westworld, I'm going to kill that thing with a golf club?
Yeah, I don't think he was thinking straight. I watched this episode twice, so did Jerome.
Mm-hmm.
But the only reason I'm bringing it up, both times when his head hit the fucking cool decking, I went, Jesus Christ. Fucking hit it hard.
Yeah.
We were eating when we started the goddamn episode.
And then once he hit, you started eating more because you're like,
I want
yummy.
some spaghetti.
I want some brains.
I cut my arm and I started licking it as soon as he did it.
It makes sense. I would have done the same, actually.
Yeah.
You should have done it at the bar this weekend.
Yeah. See if anybody's like creeped out by. Start like flicking your blood at them. just yelling Corona and throwing blood at them. So
Yeah.
We got a new intro, baby. The new intro has people swimming down and up towards each other. Could potentially be humans and hosts connecting. Or
It looks like Aaron Paul and fucking
it's just
Dolores.
it's just the generic host.
I know, but it looks like it.
It's not anybody, I don't think. None of them. They're all like generic.
I'm not
looking
saying
shit.
it's them. That's what I see.
You see an eagle flying into it looks like some kind of plane exhaust or just some kind of exhaust. You see it opening and shit. And then a dandelion coming apart, and then you also see the hoop. Oh God, I had how you say it down, and then Hess confused it. And anytime someone questions the Rohabom, I think that's how you say it, Rohabom, something like that.
I think it's bomb.
I fuck it up, but you see that in the intro also. And then
do you?
And then you see it for a bit, and then at the end, the robot eagle and the host disintegrate, and then you see red liquid instead of white.
I like the red liquid behind the white host. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I like that. I always just liked their normal intro anyways, but I was like, I like that red better. That looks real cool.
You still got mom's hands.
Yeah, my mom looks just like that skeleton little boy. I tried to get her to play piano like that one time on the counter so we could record her. And she
At the end, the one host face
opens up like young Ford.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
And it's all dark.
But Caleb wakes up and he declines Francis's call, but we hear one of their past conversations, or maybe the first one.
That was a weird way to do that, wasn't it?
Really, know.
You hit decline and then talk to him anyways?
Well, he was already talking before he hit decline.
Yeah.
But so you just hear, I think, because the whole episode you're hearing from that same conversation.
Yeah, and it's weird because he hits decline like every time except the last time he calls.
Yeah, so I think we're just hearing his, like, the first time he was interested in trying, and now he just doesn't want to hear it anymore.
And he says that psychologist, he said he
because at the very
answered
beginning,
sometimes.
that was confusing the shit out of me. I'm going, what the fuck's going on here? Like, who's he talking to?
It seemed pretty clear to me that was going on.
And we also figured he was dead the whole time. I mean, that wasn't a surprise to you, was
just
it?
because he kept calling and all that, you're like, he's probably not really there.
Like, no one calls that much. He just text.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, no shit.
They should have a text one instead. People would be more willing to do that, I feel like. He's like, all right,
What?
Francis.
Wasn't this like 2058 or something like that?
I believe it is, yeah.
Nobody definitely calls that much in 2058.
But so he wakes up, he declines the call, and then we hear a couple other conversations. He heads off to work. That's where we first hear about the scores. Francis says you got to keep your score up and all that. And then we meet his mom, which we already talked about with you.
The score. Do you think there's two separate scores? Do you think he has a score for like life and then a score for underground?
I think it's just one score. I think it's just a score.
You don't think that?
And if you have a high score doing stuff in real life, then you'd have a high score in Rico, whatever stuff. I think it's just if you whatever.
Wasn't there like an episode of Black Mirror like that where they had like scores or something like that? I never watched it, but I heard
there is. There's it's like a Facebook like list, and people could rate you and stuff. And
so if you
I think it's Bryce Dallas Howard's in it, and she like goes fucking nuts because she starts getting thumbs down a bunch. Then it makes her get more thumbs down, and she crashes a wedding and all this shit.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a good episode. A lot of the stuff from Westworld kind of is stuff from Black Mirror.
Yeah, you mentioned something
like
on the way.
Like the Francis thing's totally a Black Mirror thing. They do that, except eventually it leads to them having a body of the person, so it gets a little more creepy. But he leaves the hospital. He opens up the Rico app, and we meet Ash and Giggles. What did you guys think about Ash and Giggles?
I actually loved both of them.
I do too. I want to see way more of them.
Yeah, it was really cool. And Marshawn Lynch's fucking shirt was the coolest shirt I've ever seen.
Yeah,
I didn't even catch
what did
it.
it say?
It had a bunch.
It had emotions.
Yeah, it had a bunch of like when he gets punched in the club or whatever, it changes to anger.
Yeah, like it said.
I didn't even catch that.
When he sat down, and they go, "You all right?" He goes, "No, I'm far from all right." It said amused, and then in the club it said anger when he punched it. I also noticed when they blow up, when they blow up the ATM, when they're waiting for it to blow up, it said bored.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that one. That's cool.
I also noticed, so when they sit down and he's like, we shouldn't be together too long or whatever, and she flops that fucking thing on the table.
Mm-hmm. The little button that fucks with their ears.
Yeah, she said that covers everybody. Like it's a whatever it does. It fucking blocks everybody. It blocks all the cameras
Bernard
too.
had the same thing, didn't he?
It seemed like it was similar.
Looked like almost the
She
exact
also
same
said she got it from Indo.
Nisha?
Yeah. So basically, when they have that shit, no one's seeing them, even if they are together. So it made sense because it's the future. You figure there's cameras everywhere.
So do you think when they hit the button, like they're just walking with that like constantly, so people are being interviewed all the way to the bank heist, and it blows up, and then they put it in the car, and then they're
they
done?
literally like when the cop after they blow up the ATM, the cop drives by them. Then she
they put the bags in, and then they're walking away, and then they hit the button again.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. Wouldn't you just always hold that down? Just make sure you have more batteries?
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess maybe.
but yeah, no, I like that.
What if you're hanging out with friends and they can't hear you because they fucking have...
Well, I think that was another button. Because she made that go and then stop.
But yeah, so we meet Ash and Giggles, and then they discuss personals, which personals are murder, kidnapping, and basically like actual crime. Like it's like, hey, you want to go murder Tom down the street? I'll give you 15 grand for it. And you're like, I don't do personals.
Yeah, it's
Well,
interesting.
Would you guys do personals?
Yeah, why not?
A little bit of murder, kidnapping on the side. You're like, I work at Walgreens, and when I'm not there, I
might have to start
murder
some
people.
personals.
It's true.
Yeah, no shit.
Breaking people's houses and steal all their toilet paper. That'll become personals now. Like, yeah, try to wrap your ass now, Tom. Fucking prick.
I'll just grab their shirts.
Yeah.
And then leave them there.
He'll grab your shirts.
No.
Wow.
or you can take his manties and just wipe your ass with his manties.
That's true.
Fuck you both.
I don't know if they're thick in it.
Then she shows Caleb her little button that interviews with people's future AirPods. That would be really cool to have one of those. Although Bernard's, I feel like, is a little special because his makes him go super.
Yeah, Bernard was a little crazy.
After that, they go rob an ATM and they drop the money off in a self-driving car. And I noticed Aaron Paul got $1,200 for that.
Nice.
Which I feel like you don't really need to do. I mean, I don't know what the economy is like in
I don't know how
2058.
It seems
That
like
could be
wherever
like
his
12 bucks
mom
for
is,
him.
that shit's expensive.
He should just kill her.
I would assume so, yeah.
Jesus. Oh, that's what.
Be like, hey, Mom, look at the flowers over there. And they're like, just get her.
Francis asked him if he has his implant turned on.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up when you were saying it's controlling everybody, but then we talked about other shit.
So I don't know what that means, but
That's what everybody has. Like, that's why I think it's messing with everybody's shit, but not Aaron Paul and all that, is what I'm assuming. Because he also says, like, it's controlling people and picking their jobs and all that, but he goes, what about us?
do you think that
Later
wafer has something to do with the implant? I think it does.
Probably.
I think so.
It probably calms him down.
Because
or
the guy in
recharges
the
it or
beginning takes it and then hits like fucking some kind of thing and says to sleep for 6 hours.
something. Yeah.
And then he's talking about it as his mom takes it. What'd you say?
It's like his dream cycle and shit.
Yeah.
Remember I said I thought about that shit as a kid. Remember I said that like a few weeks ago.
Kind of.
I was like, as a kid, like I always thought it would be cool to like type in what you wanted to dream about.
Yeah.
Like,
I do
Has to
remember
be
you
like
saying that.
big booty bitches. Boom. Just go to sleep.
well, obviously I wouldn't have done that.
That's if we're in the room. If we're not in the room, he's like,
No, what,
big cocks.
what I was gonna say is what happens is Hess doesn't look, and I walk over to his machine, and I'm like, big fat guys with huge cocks, and then I walk out, and he's like, all right, sleep, and I'm like, he's like, ah, starts having a nightmare.
Does the podcast next day. He's like, I
And
had the coolest dream.
It's not even sex. He's just being chased, and they're trying to whip him in the back with their wieners.
Dun, 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 dun.
Charlotte Hale has a board meeting about taking Delos private, and whoever is supposed to be in the chair stipulated a machine shareholder as proxy, and the machine agrees with Charlotte Hale.
Is that supposed to be Man in Black? Or
That's what we
William?
assume.
We assume
We
so.
assume it's supposed to be. I don't know why it wouldn't be, because like we said, the human of him is still alive.
And here's the big question, Haas.
Who is Charlotte Hale? I'm saying it's Peter Abernathy.
Yeah, I have no clue.
A lot of people are saying Teddy, and I think they're
I did
fucking
not-
stupid for thinking it's Teddy.
They
I would
literally
not
say it's
guess-
Teddy on the next on.
But yeah, they question
they?
it like Teddy.
Yeah, Maeve goes, is that you in there, Teddy? And I'm like,
Yeah,
that means it's not Teddy.
It's not Teddy
Yeah.
because he's in the thing. He's in the clouds.
Teddy.
I think it's
Sounds
either
corny.
it sounds stupid, but I think for my money, I think it's either Angela or Clementine, and I don't know why.
But like we said, Angela blew up. She have to go catch her ball.
Yeah, maybe she did.
I don't think that
She's
happened.
Dolores. She can do whatever she wants.
I don't think that happened.
And then Clementine.
No, it could be a Clementine.
She's in the previous on.
It could be a Clement. I think it could be Clementine, but most likely Peter Abernathy, because like Charlotte Hale is her like, it's her partner kind of. So I think it would have to be someone she really trusts.
Clementine has no relationship with her though. That's the only thing I don't understand.
That's. I think it has to be Peter.
So when Dolores says she's the only one of her kind in this world, that's a different timeline when she says that.
We think that's
I don't think it's a timeline. I think it's just a little before.
Like area or whatever.
Yeah.
It's right before she woke up Bernard and Charlotte Hale, we assume.
Yeah.
But it could also be right after, and she's just saying that because
I was thinking about this. So she gets off the boat and she goes to Arnold's house. She's Charlotte Hale. She needs to make a Charlotte Hale and a Dolores.
Well, she doesn't need to make a Charlotte Hale because she just lays down and has the machine pull the ball out of her, and she puts the ball in a Dolores and then puts a new ball in the body of Charlotte Hale.
So you think you don't think she made someone first and then be like, hey, make sure this goes right?
Well, she probably made Dolores, the body, but she knows what she's doing. Like they've all like it's not. I don't think it's that hard for them to make another thing like that, especially when the equipment's right there in Arnold's house and Ford put it there for him. I don't think there's any question. Hey, is this gonna work? Because even if you put the ball in there and it doesn't work, it's like, oh, take the ball out, put it in the other host. Like the body.
So she just made Dolores and had the machine take the ball out.
Yeah, she put her
and then put the
ball back in there, and then she's like, which
not,
one of these do I want to drop in Charlotte Hale?
Great, that's not as fun. So thanks for ruining that.
Well, I mean, why would she make another Charlotte Hale body? Then there's two Charlotte Hale bodies.
That's not what I meant. I meant she made a Dolores body, but then she has to take the ball and put it in someone so that they can kind of make sure that she does it right.
So you were thinking like she's like, all right, Bernard, you're Dolores for a second, just to see if this works.
Well, I was gonna say, can't they change who's in it, who's in the body?
Yeah,
like it. Yeah, because fucking the.
So I mean, like this episode, it might be Bernard in there, or you know what I mean, and then next it might be Peter Abernathy.
Well, like, it won't ever be.
Why they would.
It won't ever be Bernard in there.
That you think?
No, it wouldn't be. In this timeline, why would it be? She'd have to make a whole new person, and then it wouldn't be Bernard because it'd be a whole new ball.
She just take the ball out and put it in Bernard.
But Bernard's in the Philippines going to Westworld.
Now, you don't know where he was the last couple months.
But she didn't do anything. She was busy building Bernard and testing him and all that shit all last season. So it wouldn't make any sense for, hey, go on this mission into Insight for me, Bernard. Especially when they're trying to blame all this shit on him. I don't think there's any time for that stuff to be happening.
Maybe. I mean, he's just held up in a house. Not anyone's going to see him, so... Mm-hmm. I don't think Bernard didn't, but yeah, you could flip-flop people all the time.
Yeah, like she could do that. Like it could be, like
who knows?
In the board meeting, it could be like Angela because she's has experience talking to people, and then it goes to the grocery store. And it's like, hey Peter, go get us some good apples. You know?
Wow.
What else is he good for?
I don't know.
We're looking at some of that natural splendor.
They didn't say splendor or bitch this episode.
Yeah, I was waiting for like a little hint where she like gets up in the board meeting, looks out the window, and goes, "God, ever look at this natural splendor?" or something like that.
The only hint I got from Charlotte Hale, she was smoking, and I was like, "Oh, who smokes? Teresa?
Oh, it's Teresa. She's back.
Teresa or Men in Black's daughter. She smokes. Remember, we had this big thing where we thought she was Teresa's daughter.
That would be interesting if Dolores made the host of Man in Black's daughter and then made an actual body of her and then brought him to the Man in Black to do all those tests.
I mean, it's very
because we know
she's very conceivable.
She's gonna meet him eventually, so we know at least she'd be like, "Hey, here's your daughter. I brought her back for you, pal. Do me a favor now. Help me destroy Insight."
No, it's very conceivable. That's why I brought it up. It's and they're the only two that we know that smoked.
Yeah, and also since he's at the board meeting and it said he said so, William Man in Black set up that robot thing. Do you think he's already kind of working with Dolores, possibly? Because he did want to destroy the park. They were kind of on the same page at the end a little bit.
I don't know if he's working with Dolores or if he's just like, fuck it. You know
I have one finger left on this hand. Yeah. I'm not going to a board meeting.
Yeah, he's like, I don't give a fuck.
I killed my daughter. My wife's dead.
And now
I miss Logan.
Now the girl that I fucked and raped 800 times is making a fucking host of my daughter.
He didn't rape her. You always say that.
He raped her.
He never raped her. You want him to, apparently.
He raped
There's
her.
never a scene of that, not even remotely close.
I didn't say there was a scene of that.
So why do you think he did that?
What do you think he did to her in episode 1 when they panned away?
He killed her and talked to her about shit.
You don't think he gave her the little hoochie
No,
coochie?
He's not you.
You don't think he gave her the little Man in Black?
All right, we're moving on. Jesus fucking Christ.
What do you think, Hess? Do you think he raped her?
I think it's very conceivable that he did.
He fucking stabbed Maeve's kid with a fucking knife as big as...
I don't think the Man in Black would do that.
Like he was Crocodile Dundee.
I don't think he's in the park for sex. He's in it for the thrill.
He fucked Dolores.
And I don't think there's any thrill in raping a robot.
You don't think he hey, remember when I was William and you enjoyed this?
All right, moving on. I don't want to discuss rape with you, and you're going to mime it over there. Bernard is eating lunch, and as guys walk into the kitchen, they go, "Hey, that's him."
I noticed that the second time.
Yeah. Did you catch that at all, Hess? The guys that beat him up, they go, "Hey, that's him."
The first time when they walk by?
I didn't catch it.
Yeah. And then Bernard goes home and does a self-diagnostic of himself, and we learned that last time he saw Dolores was 92 days, 7 hours, 5 minutes, and 33 seconds ago.
Unless he's lying.
He said he'd never lie to himself.
Of course not.
Would you ever lie to me? And he's like,
I know.
No? Never.
I was expecting you to have a drop from Memento right there.
What drop?
The quote about lying to ourselves. We all lie to ourselves to make ourselves feel better.
That
would have been a good drop.
Close writers too.
So you could have combated Bernard right there in that little.
Yeah, if I was in the room with Bernard, I'm in the back. I'm like, hey, we all lie to ourselves to make ourselves feel better. You know, it's fuck off, Jerome.
You know what's funny about that is, and who helped write that movie?
Yeah, Jonathan Nolan.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, I like his little button that he has.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's weird that he's two people, basically.
Kind of, yeah. I called that him, like, he hit that, and he's like, I'm going to go forward. Because, like, Ford would always connect to him and make him go evil.
I like how he doesn't trust himself. He did fuck himself over last season, so I understand why he's doing it that way.
Yeah.
He's like, I fucking tricked myself.
Basically, yeah. So now he just learned to do that now. It's kind of like his power. We're in London, baby. And Dolores is in London. We meet her new boyfriend, Liam Dempsey Jr. at a rooftop party. I really like when the girl asks Dolores where she's from. And she goes, a small town out west. Sort of off the beaten path.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That's like what she always says in the park. But she's like, yeah, I guess I'll just say that. I don't know. I can't say I'm from Westworld.
Yeah.
And then I really like the simulation theory combo. I figured Hess would like that too.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, we're all in a simulation. If there's a simulation in a simulation, that'd be fucked up. And then she talks about a little thing in his brain that made him believe in God. And the girl's like, won't be the first time he's led by a 1-inch thing.
Yeah, that was funny. The girlfriend was a bitch, but she was funny.
Yeah, she was a bitch. What?
It's just funny.
It just seemed really funny. You're like, yeah, she was a bitch. Fuck her.
Fuck that bitch.
She was. Well, and I think what's his name? Patrick Dempsey? Louis Dempsey?
Liam Dempsey Jr.
Liam Dempsey.
You're not good with names.
No.
He seems like a douchebag, too.
Well, he seemed real nice to me. He seemed too nice to me.
He seemed like...
very naive and dumb.
Yeah. He seems like he's way out of his league.
Golly gee, Dolores, I'm just going to leave you in here where he bomb, and I'm just going to go take a piss over here.
He almost fucking told her all his fucking corporate secrets.
Yeah, and then
and then guy from
Charlie's Angels?
Anarchy had to
Charlie's
come in.
Angels.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
We all pick something different.
Jesus.
Caleb wakes
It's
up.
Laura.
Caleb wakes up and goes on job interviews, and apparently his therapist is too busy to be his therapist.
It seems like there's a lot.
That's why we gave you this fucking robot friend to talk to. You don't gotta come talk to me.
Seems like there's a lot of issues, though. Seems like there's a lot of people having.
Yeah.
Yeah, like resources are scarce.
Yeah. It's like there's a virus going around. There's not enough beds.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
something like that.
At least he's got toilet paper.
Yeah, that's true.
But the therapist is too busy, so he have.
That's not good for you.
Yeah.
No.
He uses like one roll a day. But he has AI of his dead friend to talk to. And then Caleb does another Rico gig. He goes to some weird drug art party. And the dude's trying beta limbic.
Now, is this our first penis of the season?
I believe so.
Okay.
There was a couple in that little montage.
Yeah, in the little room. There's at least 4 in there, I think. Maybe just 2.
Oh, I forgot about
there's a couple
I
in there.
only saw the
But
floppy one.
it is in that same scene.
Yeah.
Like when he walks in, I was like, Jesus Christ.
What's funny is the guy's like slapping his tongue and stuff, and I'm like, maybe this guy's like has some insight or something. And I was like, then he started screaming, and I was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Like
he's naked and screaming, and they're trying to get him to calm down. He punches Giggles, and the shirt changes to angry, so he knocks the guy out. And then this is the part that I was like, okay, we get it. They're playing some song, and it keeps, at the end, it gets like, but human. And then right when the scene goes black, you just hear, human, again on the screen. I was like, yeah, we got it. He's human.
Yeah.
There's a little musical hint.
And it's different, they said, because he has a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's not like he said you can't just call the police.
Do you feel...
Or call an ambulance or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like there might be a little poor against the rich theme near, like, coming?
It seems like that already kind of happened.
But yeah.
But I could see it leading that way a little bit, like the poor maybe teams up with Dolores, and she's got like a band of hobos. going with her to attack.
A band of hobos.
Yeah, going to attack Insight. Is everybody with like a little sack over
Isn't
their
there,
shoulder?
in the thing, there's like fighting and rioting, right? In the like
Next
first trailer.
time?
Did I make that up?
You might have. I don't know. I don't remember that.
Neither one of you remember it?
I don't remember that
Did
at all.
you guys watch the trailer?
Yeah, with you.
Yeah, with you.
I don't.
Well, you-
What?
I don't.
Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Say it again.
Say it again. Say it again.
I thought there was a riot and like police like blocking people.
Should I watch the trailer?
Maybe
Yeah,
I.
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all. Fuck.
Do you remember? What's his name? I can't. What's Maeve's boyfriend's name?
Liam Dempsey Jr.
Maeve.
Oh, Hector.
Yeah, remember
Bon
Hector?
Escatone.
I do remember Hector.
I'm skimming through the trailer
You
right
didn't
now.
last time we
I'm
talked about
skimming through it, and I don't see any rioting, pal.
Yeah,
Hector Escalante.
I don't see anything that you're talking about.
I thought there was like some kind of like something. There was like a building. As the background is dark, there was like people, and then
Oh,
there was
but, I mean, that might be towards when the Maeve and Dolores fight,
maybe.
but I don't know.
But I don't know. I just get the impression that like there's gonna be like an uprising or something.
I kind of hope not, because that sounds pretty lame to me. If
Well-
watching poor people fight inside, I want the host to fight them.
I think the host will be on their side.
I don't care about these other humans.
So, real quick question before you move on.
Uh-huh.
If the story goes a certain way, do you find yourself ever getting too bored of the show and just stopping?
No, I don't think I'll ever quit this. We're 3 seasons in and doing podcasts on it, waiting every 2 years. I wouldn't quit. I watched all Leftovers.
I mean,
baby.
it's given no indication that it's going to do that.
Yeah.
Not to say that it will. It's more just like a hypothetical. Like,
No, I don't think.
do you like if it went a certain way? Like, could you see it going where you're just like, wow, this is so fucking dumb?
If that was season 2, I'd say yeah, maybe that. The first season was great, but whatever, we'll quit here. But 3 seasons in at this point, I think I'm locked in.
So you don't think it could be like a Walking Dead type scenario where you watch like 7 seasons?
Well,
and you're like, wow.
see, but at least this, like, we know they want to, like, they have an ending. They've even said, like, it might not be 5 seasons, it might be 4. They said it just depends on when they get in the writer's room, how they go about it. So they have an ending in mind. So I don't think it'll be like a 9-season thing like Walking Dead will. Thank God.
I gotcha. It was just like I said, just a hypothetical.
Yeah. Like, do you think you'd ever quit this? So say it did go 6 seasons, and by 6 seasons you're like,
It just depends.
I'm old. I can't watch this
It
anymore.
just depends if it goes the route of like.
old.
Well, because it takes them 2
I
years to
learned
make a season.
I learned my lesson watching all of Weeds, so I'm not putting myself through
Well,
that.
Weeds is a bit of a different show. That was bad for like 5 seasons.
Yeah, and I
Good
watched
for 2.
every single one of them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we
I
all
would
did.
come home from work, we'd have like food. All right, we're gonna watch Weeds, and then it's over. We're like,
we'd all be happy, and then
what the fuck is wrong with this show?
Yeah, and then we'd all be disappointed every time.
So I'm not doing that again. But it's given no indication.
Yeah. Dolores and her little sugar squirt are back in L.A.
Sugar Squirt?
What?
It's her boyfriend, you know, her little sugar squirt. He introduced.
Luis Dempsey?
Yeah,
Oh my God.
Liam Dempsey. He introduces Dolores to Rohibram, and it took his father 15 years to build it, and they discuss that for a little bit, and then Liam gets called to his meeting.
Well, he said he designed it over a weekend. And
Yeah,
15
and then
years
it took
to
him
build it.
15 years to build it.
That's pretty wild that he could design it in a weekend.
Well, that's like something you're like, oh, I got an idea,
yeah.
and then you're like, fuck, this is gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the way, his dad's nobody, because you can Google pictures of him, and there's like little videos they put online, and it's
I heard
it's nobody.
there's like Insight commercials or something.
Yeah, and there's a
on
whole
YouTube.
website and all that, but so he's nobody. He's no like secret actor that will be revealed or anything. It's just
Oh, he's dead. Who
some
cares?
generic dude. Well, but it might. What if it was he's dead, but it turns out he's Logan or something? You know?
Logan's dead too.
Yeah.
So maybe.
No, it's not. 'Cause it's a different
Oh.
actor. All right, we're back. Our recorder turned off, and we thought we lost all the audio for a second, and we're all scared shitless.
We were scared shitless.
Yeah, so we were talking about Liam Dempsey Sr., I believe, when it cut off. And then he's just generic dude. He's not a real... I mean, he's a real person. You know, that guy's a guy.
Right.
But he's nobody...
He's not going to be anybody in the story or not.
Yeah, it's not going to be a twist and Ford's first name is actually Liam. And he's, like, in there, you know?
Right.
Because it kind of seemed that way. Like, they weren't really mentioning him and all that.
It seems like maybe his dad,
Because dad is partners with...
Sirach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I wish they didn't show us him in the trailer on
I was surprised. Aren't you surprised that we already know that guy's name?
A little bit. We know what he looks like and everything. I was surprised
Yeah.
that they showed us all that. Because I'm like, oh, it makes me feel like he
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Even though, like, I know he does.
a lot of the stuff in the trailer was from this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. I figured it would
like
be.
like 90% of it was.
Yeah.
I was thinking about,
Except the
and
part
I
I
feel like
talked
it
about.
was the same at season 2. The season 2, a lot of it, what was in the trailer, we found out in episode 1.
Every show. Remember Game of Thrones was the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Dolores follows him to his meeting, and she has those cool little glasses that can zoom in and hear audio and all that. And I love when she's spying on it, and you hear the girl threaten her boyfriend and all that, and this dude walks up to hit her, and she just fuck off.
Fuck off.
And just goes back to looking at her boyfriend. That was great.
I like the fact when she like walks into the apartment building, she's like, "Get me a lease for this apartment."
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ, that's pretty cool.
Which
like,
did she just do that in case she got caught? She could be like, "Oh no, I live here." To like her boyfriend. Is that the whole reason she even bought an apartment there?
I guess.
I
Or just make
I
it
was
easy.
thinking that. Yeah, I was thinking that, and then, or maybe she's like, maybe that's where they meet a lot, so that she could always be close by.
Oh, maybe yeah.
The motorcycle was cool too.
Yeah, that was real cool. We saw
Yeah.
that's practical too. They put all that effects on, or they put it
Yeah.
under a real motorcycle. Which according to
seem
them,
like
like
it went that fast.
all the vehicles and all like the planes and that shit, they actually made.
I mean, she caught up to whatever car he was driving.
It's true.
Yeah,
It looked just as fast as any other motorcycle to me.
Yeah.
I liked how all the cars just like you get out and it's like boom, drives away. Everybody's got Tesla
Yeah, then
apparently.
it's just yeah.
But she follows him to the meeting, and the lady there, Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy, is word that someone has access to Rahibram, and I'm gonna say that wrong every time probably, and is testing the system, which what we think is maybe Dolores from the beginning, most likely Dolores the whole time, but maybe she's talking about what Dolores did in the beginning.
Maybe.
And then Bernard gets confronted by the guys. He hits his Super Bernard button and fights them all. Like, "Here, ready, fight!" When he's finished,
It was pretty cool. He beat the fuck out of those guys.
Yeah, there are some really good fight scenes in this. But yeah, that was really cool. Then Caleb gets a call from Sean, and his application is strong, but there's no position for him there. And he gets a little bummed out from that. Dolores is at Liam's place. He's very flustered, and she talks him almost into getting the information of who's in charge of Rahibram. But then Martin comes in and tases Dolores, exposes her to Liam. Apparently her name is Laura Espen, a 12-year-old girl that died.
From Kiev.
Yeah, and apparently, so was Dolores using like her? Because they said like her skin or like something disappeared from the morgue or something like that. So did she use that when she knew they were gonna test her?
I guess.
Like she put it on a specific. Cut this part off, or take blood from here.
I guess.
It's really fucking creepy.
Spliced in her DNA.
She can isolate blood in certain parts of her body.
Probably, you know. I don't know how.
So I got
works.
a question. So do you, when he tases her and then she's out for like 20 minutes, is she faking that entire time?
I think she is.
Because when Bernard got tased, he could press a button.
Although it hurt Bernard him to get tased though. It did hurt him because he like yelled.
He got tased twice too, but then he beat the fuck out of 2 guys.
Yeah, but his was just like a cattle prod. Hers was a taser. So I don't know. Maybe she wasn't faking that actually.
I feel like they both hurt.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say a taser wouldn't hurt as bad, but it depends on how powerful it is. Because I've been tased multiple times, and it hurts, but it's not that bad where it knock you out. But we don't know how powerful the guy's is.
Yeah.
I think there's. Yeah, I was gonna say there's different.
There's lots of different kinds.
Well, and she has glasses where she can see across the fucking universe, but she fucking doesn't hear the guy coming
Well, also,
behind.
I think the whole thing was planned, and she might have been faking it.
That's what I
or
figured.
something. She knew something was going to happen. Maybe it did actually knock her out, but she planned on being knocked out. Because that location, they said it took them 2 seconds to hack and all that, or encode.
Because she had the little
and she brought him there on
knife thing on the.
Yeah, because at this point, nothing cut here, so she did already have the host of that guy made.
Yeah.
This is all. So I think this whole entire thing was planned.
Well, and he's
for her to
been
get there and
staring
all
at her, giving her the fucking funky Scottish eye the whole time.
that. Well, I think he wanted a little piece of Dolores.
Of Laura.
Yeah.
Lara.
Is that from something, or are you two just kind of stupid?
Just kind of stupid.
Because it sounds almost like it's from something, but then it also sounds you guys could just be kind of stupid. Caleb. Oh wait, there's more to her being. Okay, so they take Dolores on a plane. Meanwhile, Caleb takes a job.
Wait, I got a question. The second time I watched it, I realized the guy's like, just leave me out of it. Don't let it blow back on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Dolores isn't going to hold that against him?
She probably will.
Okay. Because you said she was going to come back and be his girlfriend.
I think she will, or at least be involved somehow with that still. Because she tells the guy to fix it, and he's like, "You fix it," and she's like, "No, I think you will." And he gets out of the car and kills himself.
But see, I would assume that she's gonna plan it on him. Like he's gonna be the one. You know what I mean? Like
Be the one to what? Be the one to what?
Well, just whatever they do delete the whole thing? Or
Well, I think she just.
destroy it?
I think.
Oh,
she
you think whatever she does, she's gonna pin on him, make it look like he did it?
She's gonna pin it.
Oh,
on him,
I think she
maybe.
only wants him to get Sirach's name, and then she's done.
She could just call
Yeah,
it
and then
Puffy.
and then she can do her thing, and then she can pin it on him. Like, you know, that's what I
maybe. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think.
it's possible.
I don't think pinning it on him is necessary, because she just wants to. I think she just wants to break Cerebrum or whatever Brahibram. Let's call it Cerebro. This is an X-Men. But so meanwhile, Caleb takes a job to deliver a bag in a car, and they're driving to where the plane lands. He gives them the bag of poison. It doesn't work on Dolores though, because she's a robot, and no one knows that. Which this whole time they kidnapped her, I thought they knew she was a robot.
Oh,
Just
did you?
'cause I forget that people don't know that shit. Like I thought those guys knew Bernard was a robot, and then I remember, oh no, the whole world thinks Bernard's a human.
Yeah.
I forget that no one else knows that but us. The poison doesn't work, so she kills everybody, runs over a guy a bunch. Reminded me of Nick playing Warzone, because that's all he does in that. But before she finishes Martin, she has a robot Martin come out and pop him right in the head.
Now, first time watching this, I was a little confused.
Which part?
When it first pops off and she runs over the guy, and
When
then the
she
guy,
popped off.
because he's like, "Get over here now!" and he's like pointing the gun, and there's like, I thought the car was empty.
Yeah, so he walked to the car and saw,
then
himself.
saw himself.
And he's like, what, is that a reflection? And he started doing this. He was,
So
he was doing the Groucho Marx thing.
The second time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, there's a fucker in there." So he sees himself.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make him out.
Yeah.
But
But they could make out.
and then here we go. Go ahead, ask it.
Oh, okay, I'll ask Cass this. So, Hess, if there's a host of yourself...
There literally is in this scene.
Yeah, if there's a host of yourself and you walk up to it and say you had sex with it, whatever, would that be considered masturbating because you're just fucking yourself? Because I
don't even know what to say.
I asked Nick this the other day. I don't remember what it was. It was.
I can't believe we talked about this twice in a week.
Yeah, but I don't
That's
remember
how
what we talked
fucked
about.
up Jerome
But I
is.
talked about, and it's like if you have sex with you from another universe, is that just considered masturbating?
It's just weird.
Because you're just fucking yourself.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, and you're like, all right, I will.
You should just start a sex podcast.
Yeah, you should. And
All right.
leave us the fuck
And I'll be
out
here
of
be
it.
like, so let's talk about masturbation, but not real masturbation with robots that look like you.
Might have a lot of free time. on your hands.
Because also, like, if you had sex with a robot, you wouldn't say that you're out banging someone. You wouldn't say you had sex, actually. So,
Why wouldn't
and if you
you?
use a sex toy, a host of yourself is basically a sex toy, so that could be masturbation. I got you there. Right?
So does that mean he committed suicide?
Yeah?
It doesn't.
Good?
No.
Good. Where were we with that? Oh, he comes out, he pops himself in the head. Pops the real one of him in the head. The robot's still there.
Didn't he say something like funny, like "Hey,
Fuck you.
No.
Fuck you.
No, he said, hey.
He said whatever he said to Dolores.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, though. I didn't write it down either.
Hasta la vista, baby.
But Caleb talks to Francis and ends up unsubscribing to the program. And then he heads back to save Dolores. Dolores is real hurt from the fight. So she's walking down an alley in an underpass, whatever it is. And she falls into Caleb's arms.
Just like
William. And she looked into his arms. She's like, one day you'll be the man in black and I'm going to hate you. But right now I love you.
Yeah, maybe.
And then Bernard walks up to two guys on a boat. And he says, hey, you want to bring me to Westworld? And they go, yeah, sure, hop in, pal.
And Bernard's in the Philippines.
Yeah.
I googled the fucking place that was on the sign behind him.
Oh, I just heard him in the podcast. They said
I
it's
know,
Philippines.
but I didn't trust them.
Yeah, they're fucking stupid. I wouldn't trust them either.
Sometimes.
I mean, we're no better, but...
I mean,
Is it a legit place in the Philippines?
yeah.
Yeah, then Westworld's right there, too. You can go to the park and you can see all the shit.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting him seeing down all the burnt, like, sets. Because the whole place actually burned down.
Yeah.
So that'll be really interesting.
Do you think if it wouldn't burn down, it'd just be back with Dolores dropping a pink can?
No?
No, I'm kidding.
And then, end credit scene, baby. Maeve wakes up. Where am I? Oh, my God. Opens up the blinds. World War II. What do you think's up with that?
You think
Do you think it's just do you think this is another Delos Park in Westworld and all this shit, or do you think this is another location, or
maybe it's an inside park?
that's what I was gonna say? Maybe it's something different. Although she still has her powers, because in the next one she's walking down and she froze all the hosts and she's like
Yeah.
smiling and all shit, walking down the street. She's in a parade or something.
Singing do what did
Yeah,
it.
diddy dum diddy do. Then Bernard walks out here. Look,
It was
good.
weird. They mentioned in the podcast we listened to that they thought maybe that she regains her consciousness right there.
Yeah, because her fists were all bloody and
Bloody
shit.
and
Like she just punched the guy a bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like. But how would she get that?
Do you think we'll see like the prequelness to this, where because at the
Yeah.
end of last season they set up Surveiller and Felix.
What'd you say?
Surveiller, Sylvester and Felix to fix her. Maybe we see that, and then some other because Charlotte Hale did say something about them selling stuff or something, or that's what we had to protect, or
Yeah.
But yeah, we're all done. Next,
When you saw Maeve, were you excited?
Yeah, I was just like, oh fuck, like I forgot about her.
So I kind of felt the same way, except my reaction was like, "Ah, fuck, Maeve."
oh, see, I was like, oh, cool, we're getting.
I did
World
want
War
to see
II world.
World War II
Yeah.
shit,
Mhm.
but I was like, "Fucking Maeve."
And then you were right. I put it in our last podcast, but Hector's there with her, so that's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think any of the other hosts, like, do you think Snake Tattoo, I forget her name, Armistice, is going to be there too, perhaps?
Yeah, I
Some shit
mean,
too?
maybe.
I saw someone commented, it was on Reddit or on a video, that I think it's the other Maeve, one of the Shogun hosts, is in the trailer or in the episode or something, and no one mentioned it. Like, no one's even paid attention to that. But like, there's another host in something coming up here.
Oh, really?
But specifically mentioned I think it's the Shogun Maeve.
I don't know if I'd recognize her if I saw her.
I wouldn't, because I don't think if she's in another world, she's not gonna look like that either. So I don't know if I would either.
She had like the geisha paint on, so yeah, how the fuck would we recognize
Yeah.
her?
I don't recognize Hess when he puts on geisha paint.
I don't either. Is it any other things that we didn't discuss that you guys want to say? Any theories you have? Anything from the next on? Man in Black's in the next on, but that's also isn't the upcoming weeks, or is it next on?
They didn't say.
Oh.
It just said.
I'm excited to see what his shit's all about.
Yeah, a little bit.
Or just trying to stay alive.
Staying alive.
Wow.
But you could what I don't know. I don't know if we'll see the human one at all ever, or if we're only gonna see this host stuff from the future. Some point it connects to Dolores. I'm really interested in all that.
Yeah.
I want.
It's hard to say before we see.
Yeah,
I assume he's just the guy that we.
That was on the floor last time.
Yeah, it was on
But I don't.
on a
Do you
stretcher.
think that one is the one falling out of the bathtub? Is the same wife's bathtub?
Yeah,
Could be.
but I don't know.
Because I guess he would still have that house. I really want to see Aaron Paul interact with the Man in Black.
Really?
Yeah, I think that'd be really
That's
interesting to see.
I told Jerome yesterday. This is the only thing. I think Dolores is going to end up being a good guy at the end of this season.
You think so?
Yeah,
I could see that. I could see Caleb turning her over.
because she's going to be like, "Oh, humans aren't all fucking."
Yeah,
cocks."
Just William was kind of a cocksucker. It turns out.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
yeah, because
That makes sense.
she's kind of a racist robot.
a little bit, yeah.
What's
That was on Hess's side. That wasn't anything to do with us.
She's a racist robot. She assumes everyone's the same.
Kinda, yeah. Although not really, because she saved that woman in the beginning. She didn't kill her,
Yeah, that's true.
and she was gonna leave
She
the guy
did-
to survive
She also
too,
did
'cause-
say she was sick of hurting people or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So did Bernard, but then he hit his button, and now he's super.
Well, I
Bernard.
mean, that was self-defense.
It's true. So you guys good? You're done? We're already one episode down, season 2. So far on IMDb,
One
it still shows there's only 8. I haven't seen anywhere else that confirms there's more than 8.
There must be 8 there.
But then no one's said that there is. People, I don't know how people got this information. One website said there was 8, and now everybody has that. So I'm not gonna agree with that until I see a
You
real
should
thing.
tweet
Jonathan
whatever
Nolan.
Nolan. Yeah.
I'm gonna tweet Christopher Nolan for an answer.
Yeah. Hey.
Hey, ask your brother how many episodes are in the season, fucker.
Yeah, and then can we get a copy of Tenet early?
Yeah, can I please see that? I'll suck your dick. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought about Westworld Season 3 or any theories you have. And we'll see you guys next week for Episode 2. Like, if you have sex with you from another universe, is that just considered masturbating?